I one time met a yeshiva boy who was part of a hockey league. I said, so how did you do? He said, we lost the championship. I said, you lost the championship? You mean you made it to the championship? And he thinks for a moment, he goes, yeah, I made it to the championship. We live in such a society where it's either all or nothing. You're either a champion or you're a loser. There's no, we don't care about the effort you put in. We don't care about how hard you tried. We don't care about how much you've grown. All we care about is, did you make it to the top or not?
Welcome everyone to Chazak's Tuesday night program called Torah Talks. We have a very special guest today, Rabbi Moshe Fogel. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
We're
for
looking
having
forward
me.
to hearing from you today. Very special topic called Effort is All That Counts. And before we jump into the topic, if we could hear some more of the great work that you're involved with and more about yourself.
Sure. Shalom Aleichem. My name is Moshe Fogel. I'm a fourth grade Rebbe in Yeshiva Ktan of Queens. I've been, Baruch Hashem, involved with children for over 30 years, teaching in the classroom for over 20, and for the past 18 years, fourth grade Rebbe in Yeshiva Ktan of Queens. I also have run the Pirchei of Kew Gardens for the past 9 years, and I am just passionate about teaching Talmidim, helping them grow in their Ahavas Torah, in their ability to learn Torah, and into their understanding the connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Amazing. So we live in this society. We live in the Western. I'm saying there's this perception in the Western society where everything is based on just the results. A person can throw 5 touchdowns, but they might lose the Super Bowl, or they might score 50 points in a game. But the first question isn't like when they get home after. It's like, okay, did you win or you lose? Like whether they scored 1 point or 50 points. We just live in this in general. That's only just one example. But even in business or students, like what can you touch upon this concept?
It's interesting you mentioned. I one time met a yeshiva boy who was part of a hockey league. And I was schmoozing with him. And I said to him, oh, so you play hockey? He says, yes. I said, so how did you do? He said, we lost the championship. I said, you lost the championship? You mean you made it to the championship? And he thinks for a moment, he goes, yeah, I made it to the championship. We live in such a society where it's either all or nothing. You're either a champion or you're a loser. There's no, we don't care about the effort you put in. We don't care about how hard you tried. We don't care about how much you've grown. All we care about is, did you make it to the top or not?
Yeah. Can you elaborate upon about this mindset, this theory, this mindset, and how you've been teaching for so many years in Jewish education, how maybe it's seeped into the Talmidim and this education and their mindset?
Yeah, unfortunately, it has seeped in. We don't have much of a choice. You know, Rebbeim have to give tests to assess how much the boys know. And right away, a boy looks at his test mark and said, I failed, or I did worse than somebody else, and therefore, I'm no good. And they don't pay any attention to the amount of effort they put in. True, we do have on the report card, we have a column for effort, but the children all look at the achievement marks. Because at the end of the day, that's our Western society. Achievement is all that counts. But it's not really true. It's really only the effort.
Okay. Can you talk about like what you ended off with about this concept that maybe not everything is only solely based on achievement? Can you give us a new vantage point, a new perception maybe?
Sure. I'll tell you like this. One of the hardest things for mechanchim, for rabbeim, for parents to give over to their talmidim is this idea that effort is what counts and Hashem does not care about your achievements. Only effort. When you go up to Shemaim, it's your effort. It's how hard you tried. And they have a real problem with this. So Hashem gave me an amazing idea, and I'd like to share with everybody here, if you just indulge me. I tell the boy, let's say you're right. Let's say you're really doing poorly. What does he say? He says, Rebbe, you can say effort's all that counts. But at the end of the day, I'm busting my chops to get 60s, and this other kid, he's coasting with hundreds. who gets into the good yeshivas, who gets the good chavrusas, who gets the good shidduchim. It's everything. I'm licking the bottom of the barrel. Don't tell me effort. And I say, let's say you're right. Let's say this is you down here. And this is the one you like to compare yourself to. Maybe it's your older brother, or an older boy, other boy in the class. And you say, I'm so far below him. Let's say you're right. Let's say you're below him. But let's look at how much you tried. He tried. He put in some effort. Let's give him a point for that. You put in effort. More effort. More effort. You tried. You had chavrusas, maybe tutors. Maybe you reviewed at home. More effort. And even more effort. You keep on trying. And no matter what happens, it seems to be you're still down at that 60 and he's got that 100. But that's because we live in a linear world. Two-dimensional. The way Hashem looks at this world, he looks from a bird's eye view, 3-dimensional. That's how Hashem looks at the world. Yeah, everyone has the exact same reaction. Whenever I say this over, everyone does. Low achievers, high achievers, even a videographer had the same reaction. Rosh Hashivas and Rabbeim. It's real. Chazal tell us that a person's supposed to say, when will my actions reach those of my fathers, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? Now come on. Even the Vilna Gaon would never reach that of Avram Avinu. And you're right. In this world, you may be stuck with the 60s, and he got the 100s. And Avram Avinu? But when you look at the way Hashem looks at it, you put in all your chips. Avram Avinu put in all his chips. You are exactly the same as Avram Avinu. The Gemara tells an amazing story. Rav Yosef's son was nifter. He passed away. And then he came back. He had Tchias HaMesim. And his father said, what did you see in the world up there? He said, I saw an olam hafuch, a turned over world. Elyonim lamata, v'tachtonim lamala. Those who are on top were below, and those who were below were on top. The Marshal says, don't think for a minute that Rav Yosef's son was saying, I saw rich people on bottom and poor people on top. He knows that's not important in the world upstairs. He said, I saw Talmidei Chachamim lower than simpler people. And his father said, no, you didn't see an Olam Hafuch, a world turned on its side, but an Olam Yashar. Because once it's flat, it makes no difference where on the board you are. It just makes a difference, all the effort you put in.
Wow, what a mashal, a parable, an example that will stick with all of us. I want to ask if you can, we have a custom, you can leave us with with all the amazing gems that you gave us, can you leave us with what's a take-home message, final message for all of us?
If I could give anybody a take-home message, it would be repeat what I said before. All you have to do is know that all Hashem wants you to do is try your best. Put in your effort, and even if you don't see the achievements, not now, not in a while, that doesn't make a difference. Because all Hashem cares about is how hard you try. And that is all that counts. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Howie Folgo. Thank you everyone for joining us. For everyone's, of course, encouraged to join us every Tuesday night right here on chazak.org/live. Every Tuesday, every 8:30 p.m. Of course, everyone can watch any of the previous episodes on Torah Anytime and all different podcast players. And we, Yeshakaya, thank you so much for joining us.